Dangerous Desires, Part 2 of 3. An excerpt from the Sutra of the Simile of the Snake. In the previous episode, the bhikkhu Arittha believed that indulging in sensual pleasures was not an obstacle to the Dharma. When other bhikkhus advised him, he refused to listen. The bhikkhus had no choice but to report the matter to the Buddha. After listening to the report, the Buddha summoned a monk and instructed him, "Monk, go tell Arittha in my name. Arittha, the world-honored one summons you." The monk accepted the command, went to Arittha, and delivered the message that the world-honored one wished to see him. Arittha agreed to the summons and came before the Buddha. He bowed respectfully and sat beside him. The Buddha then proceeded to question Arittha in sequence. "Arittha, did you really give rise to this idea? Based on my understanding of the teachings of the Buddha, although the Buddha said these are obstructing dharmas, indulging in these pleasures will absolutely not cause any hindrance. Is this truly what you believe?" Arittha replied, "Yes, world-honored one." Knowing that Arittha was rebellious and confused at heart, the Buddha said, "You foolish man, you should understand that this is your own mistaken view. Now I am going to ask the assembly of monks for their understanding." The monks replied, "No, world-honored one. The world-honored one has indeed taught us through various methods what the obstructing dharmas are, and that for those who greedily seek enjoyment in them, they will indeed cause obstacles." The world-honored one said, "Sensual pleasures offer little joy, but much suffering and much vexation, and they conceal even more calamities. You used similes, like a bare bone, like a piece of meat, like a dry grass torch, like a pit of hot coals, like a dream, like a borrowed thing, like fruit on a high tree, like a slaughterhouse, like a stake of swords, and like a snake's head, to demonstrate the danger and harm of sensual pleasures for us." The Buddha said happily, "Very good, monks. Monks, you have correctly understood the Dharma I taught. I have taught you in various ways what the obstructing dharmas are, and that indulging in sensual pleasures indeed causes obstacles. I stated that sensual pleasures offer little joy, but much suffering and much vexation, and that they conceal even more calamities. Furthermore, I used similes, like a bare bone, like a piece of meat, like a dry grass torch, like a pit of hot coals, like a dream, like a borrowed thing, like fruit on a high tree, like a slaughterhouse, like a stake of swords, and like a snake's head, to demonstrate the dangers of sensual pleasures. However, this bhikkhu Arittha, the former hawk trainer, due to his own misunderstanding of the Dharma I taught, has turned around and slandered us. Thus he destroys himself and creates bad karma. In fact, for a long time, those foolish people have been unable to transcend the realm of sensual pleasures, unable to transcend the perception of sensual pleasures, and unable to transcend the memory and thoughts of sensual pleasures. They merely blindly indulge in them. People like this will ultimately never attain true peace and happiness." The Buddha continued, "Monks, there are some foolish people who come to learn the Buddha Dharma, the sutras, gaya, mixed verses, expositions, gatha, verses, udana, inspired utterances, Itivataka, thus said, jatakas, birth stories, abhutadhamma, marvelous qualities, vidala, catechism, and so on. Although they have learned these teachings, they do not use wisdom to verify and realize the meaning within them. Because they lack true realization, they cannot genuinely comprehend the principles. They merely use the study of Buddha Dharma as a tool for debate or as a means to show off their eloquence. They do not study the Buddha Dharma for its correct purpose. Because they do not understand the true meaning of the Dharma, they fail to obtain genuine benefits for a long time, leading to misfortune. Why is this? Monks, because when they do not correctly understand the Buddha Dharma, it is like a man who wants to catch a snake. He searches everywhere and finally sees a large snake, but he does not know the method of catching snakes. He carelessly grabs it by the body or the tail. As a result, the snake turns back and bites his arm, wrist, or other parts, causing him great pain or even death. The Buddha spoke further. "Monks, suppose there is someone who wishes to obtain a snake, looks for a snake, and finds a large snake. He understands the method of catching snakes. He knows to use a forked stick, like a goat's hoof, to pin down the snake's head, and then grasp the snake. In this way, even if the snake wraps its body around his arm, wrist, or other parts, he will not be bitten or suffer fatal pain. This is because he knows the snake's nature and has the correct method for catching it. Monks, these good men study the Buddha Dharma, and thus they obtain true understanding and give rise to joy. They do not do it for the sake of debate or showing off eloquence. The purpose of their study is to thoroughly comprehend,
gain superior knowledge of the true meaning of the Buddha Dharma, and attain ultimate liberation. Monks, you should understand and uphold the mains I have stated. If there is anything you do not understand, you should come and ask me, or ask those wise and enlightened monks. Dear friends, why is it that we know so many principles, yet we still live unhappily? This seemingly simple statement by the Buddha actually hides a cold truth that strikes directly at human nature. In our chaotic daily lives, what crucial step have we missed? Don't treat this story as just a children's tale. In the next episode, we will tear away the surface and reveal to you how to live out the ease and freedom the Buddha spoke of, right amidst the trivialities of life. Please stay tuned, because the real excitement is just about to begin.